Welcome back to the Great War mod as Serbia. It's been almost a year since the war has started, and I think we've been doing fairly well so far. First flight across the Mediterranean Sea. Oh, interesting. On the 23rd of September 1913, Roland Garros took off from Fray in the south of France on board a Morane Saulnier monoplane. Then it's 7 hours and 53 minutes later in Bizerte, in Tunisia, which is over here? Yeah. After a flight of almost 800 kilometers, having left France with more than 200 liters of fuel in his tank, less than 10 liters were left on the other side of the sea. So why are we getting an event about something in 1913? I think someone must have mistyped something in the files. Yep. That is my theory on it. Right now we're just trying to reorganize our lines a little bit and getting some more troops on the front. We're also trying to make some advances over here. Actually, no, we should go here. I'll send up the infantry division to protect the area instead of the armed cars, which would be a little bit of a waste. Stay in in a defensive formation where they can't really use their speed at all. And actually, I've got 3 divisions which seem to want to stay in this pocket, but I don't want to do that. Okay, finally. We are almost at the Russian lines. And that's still kind of my main goal right now that I want to be fighting over. Because if I can get there, then that will be pretty much the end of the war. And that's exactly what we want to happen. Looks like the Germans seem to have gotten a breach over here. And 5 of my divisions want to go over there, which is a little bit ridiculous. So let's push up a little bit and try to surround them again. If we can take these 2 provinces, or rather 3 provinces, I don't think that there's anything that the Germans can actually do to stop us. Also, we'll be closing in to our allies in the west over here. The French seem to be advancing a little bit in Alsace-Lorraine, which is, well, welcome. If they can do that consistently, then we're gonna actually be able to link up over here and then get all of the front line to be united again, which would be quite useful for us. Let's actually reduce it a little bit. Yeah, reducing the front line seems like a decent idea, so that our troops over here can actually concentrate on areas that are a little bit more important than the mountains. Don't really want to waste effort over there. Just trying to look for an opportunity over here. This seems like the best place to actually attack. I'm gonna leave this guy here because I don't want him to get himself killed. And perhaps that's not the best decision. It's a little bit too many enemy divisions over there. Actually, the enemy seems to be holding up fairly well somehow. So let's stop that and send a couple of better prepared divisions. That's working a little bit better, thankfully. We're moving up more guys, but I don't think that will be enough, at least for now. Well, that's actually a lake, so we don't need anyone to actually capture this place. I believe this lake actually has a little bit of a weird thing going on. I think it's in the middle of Austria, Germany, and Switzerland in real life, and it's like got some weird territorial disputes, actually. Not exactly sure what the lake is called, but I seem to remember something about a lake having that stuff in real life. And that seems like a pretty good candidate. Of course, it seems like the annoying Germans keep reinforcing the area. So let's try to cycle out some divisions and cycle back in some more fresh ones. And it's really not going that well, because this infantry division is actually fairly well protected. Somehow, I'm not sure what kind of infantry division it is. Looks like it's just a lot of infantry. Lots of recon and artillery. Lots of artillery. So that's probably why they're doing so well this time. I think eventually we can just break it. If we can get our other divisions in the fight. And we'll be a little bit in a better position. In fact, there is actually no one protecting the river crossing, so we can just move through and flank them. Oh, never mind. They're coming up with reinforcements, which is very annoying, obviously. So once these guys hit the fight over here, I'm gonna move up from the flank. Alright, now we have them surrounded, and we are just going to try to hold them so that our guys over here can come in and help out in the defense. Just establishing a perimeter as quickly as possible and staying by it. Somehow some of our divisions have actually been taken out of the plan. Germans still have a lot of divisions around here. I'm noticing that their strength bars are very low. It's probably because of weapons shortages they're having, so that's going to be very useful. We got some doctrine effort. I'm going to go for some construction, maybe? Would like the research slot at the end over here, so let's go for some economic tax. Oh, that's empty space. We can use that fairly easily. Where's our 2nd Cavalry Division? Looks like we're kind of stuck over here. Let's try to get them across. Oh, that's a lot of Germans. And these guys are just not breaking. Probably because of the river crossing. River crossings obviously being very, very annoying to deal with. So let's just come in from the other side. Hopefully that will help us out a little bit. Yep. Seems like that's helping. So how are things going in the Alps? It looks like all these guys that are surrounded are now going to die. And the Russians are actually helping us push. So let's get Stuttgart over here. Should be a pretty easy fight with only 1 infantry division, actually a reserve division, so even weaker than expected. And then we'll connect with the French and push up north. Austro-Hungarians should be next to dead. Yeah, 95% towards capitulation is obviously very good, but it's on 100. Need 100. In fact, if we take Prague, we can probably force their capitulation, but right now Prague seems to be a little bit out of our reach. There's a bit too many enemy divisions. No, that's not a good idea. Maybe this is a little bit better with the planes. I could increase my conscription level. I still have a lot of manpower, so I don't need to do that. And then I think I can... Not sure what I should produce, to be honest. At this point, it seems like I've got pretty much everything on lockdown. I'm gonna have infantry equipment too soon to produce, so I'm gonna start mass producing that to upgrade my troops. So I guess we could put some factories over to weapons, just to have that extra efficiency when we have the weapons too. It's gonna be a tiny bit, but it's gonna help. So we got the Stuttgart, and now we're just trying to move up a little bit in the area. Early fighter 2, it's pretty good. Could go for bombers. Yeah, early bombers sounds like fun. Let's switch our production of fighters. See if we can make any advances over here in the east. Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. We've still got that problem that the terrain, combined with the fact that the Germans have a lot of troops around here, is making our essential advance pretty much impossible. United Kingdom, what? It says that the owner of the state is Serbia, but that's pretty clearly the UK controlling it, so that's very strange, actually. That's fine. I guess the United Kingdom just got it. Honestly, I have no clue why they have it, but we'll deal with it. We're all with it. That's fine. I'm not sure why my guys are just trying to fight over there. It seems like a bad decision. So now we got our armored warfare, we're gonna get war movement. And then we're gonna be able to research firepower focus, which is going to improve our artillery even further. Let's try to finish off these guys and help out our allies in linking up with the French, hopefully surrounding a lot of enemy divisions in the lower part of Württemberg. However, the problem is there's obviously a lot of Germans facing the French over here. So we're going to need to cross the Rhine, get across over here, and try to link up with Luxembourg, which somehow has a heavy tank division, and managed to bring that heavy tank division over into German territory. Actually, Luxembourg has 2 heavy tank divisions. It seems like the AI is kind of preferring to get these divisions because they're light on manpower. I'm guessing that Luxembourg does not exactly have a lot of manpower, and they appear to only have 3 divisions, 2 of which are heavy tanks. And the first which is also a heavy tank. Wow, okay. Heavy tanks with infantry mixed in. That's extremely strange. Luxembourg, please. Wow, that's a lot of Germans over here. Yeah, we're gonna need to follow our allies in because we just don't have the manpower to push through. So there is a... Oh, that's a German... No, that has to be Austro-Hungarian, just in German control. So there's a Austro-Hungarian one and another Austro-Hungarian one. They both seem to be fairly low on men. So let's try to push towards Breslau. Hopefully we're going to be able to... Ah, they got reinforcements, which is not fun. Since the reinforcement came from a mountain division, there's no way we're going to break through in the mountains. Wow, they're bringing over like 8 divisions, which is a little ridiculous. So we're just gonna let them move through, honestly. They are of no concern to us. Just gonna let those 8 guys move, because I'm pretty sure they're moving west, and we can let that happen, to be honest. They're no big deal over there. Now, why are these guys so resilient? They're not. Okay. I thought that they were actually holding, which they didn't seem to be. Good. Infantry equipment 2. Let's go for the steel helmet, which is going to be pretty useful. We're going to increase our infantry defense by 5%. Oh, re-equipped infantry. What's that? Training time 90. HP 25. I'm not sure as to what this is, but we'll see. It's probably going to be available as a unit in the designer, which means it's going to be able to be actually compared to other divisions. Why is this guy unavailable to reach, or sorry, unable to reach its destination? That does not make absolutely any sense. Unable to move to a province along its path. Well, that's just simply not true. Yeah, you see game, that's just a flat out lie. Okay, so we're gonna wait for this guy to move out, and once he leaves, we're gonna attack. Now, since it's plains, oh, combat whiff. How very annoying. Oh, actually, the combat whiff increased once my guys got in there. That's extremely strange. Yeah, we should be able to punch through that line fairly easily. We're still trying to punch through over here. It's not working out quite as well as, 1916 Olympic Games and 1915. Well, I see that the 1913 flight across the Mediterranean event is not the only one that had a bit of a typo in its date. Yeah, should they be cancelled? Looks like they're in Berlin? Okay, sure. I guess they should be cancelled. Because, clearly, I mean, the Germans, they're clearly bad. Okay. So, how's the air map mode looking? We could move some planes over to Oberbayern, and we should probably do that. In fact, we're losing a lot of fighters, it seems. Just strange. Fighters are over in Czechoslovakia, where there's a lot of enemy support planes, so probably tactical bombers. That should probably explain our losses in terms of actual air equipment. So let's increase the production of that. And I forgot to upgrade the weapons too. Thank you very much. As always, I am smart. Germans seem to have concentrated a heck of a lot of divisions over here, which is exactly what I would have done, because that's probably a very important part of their line. Right now, we should go for a... maybe here? Land doctrines, please? No. Yeah, I was thinking of going for something that would decrease my land doctrine research time, but it seems like I've run out of very easy ones to do. I would have to go over here to full rearmament now. Patriotic fervor. I guess that's okay because it's also going to allow me to get military youth, which is obviously going to be very useful. Ooh, Prague looks to be pretty weak actually. There's 2 armored car divisions over there, but they should be pretty weak in the infantry, not infantry, the city terrain. And if we can get Prague, we can probably capitulate Austria-Hungary, which is going to remove a lot of troops. Actually, well, 1 division, but 1 division under the control of Austria-Hungary. All the Austro-Hungarian divisions that are actually existing are probably under the control of Germany. So we can go here. And it still says only 1 division, but if there's clearly a lot of them that are under the control of Germany and they're not showing up over here. Just looking at the national foci that are being used. Oh, adopt the reforms. So Russia may be going against the monarchy. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Finally. Finally, Austria-Hungary capitulated. And as you can see, that did kind of bump down the number of troops that the Germans are supposed to have. But they still have a lot, which is not good. Let's try to move through. It's not working because our guys are very destroyed. Okay, so now that we have Prague, let's try to get an encirclement going because it looks like this guy could get encircled if he doesn't get defeated, which he will very soon, unfortunately. Ah, never mind. At the same time, wow, the United States. Okay, so it looks like the U.S. supported by Italy. Okay. Yeah, they're fighting the Germans right now. So the U.S. supported by Italy actually landed in northern Germany, and there's nothing there to oppose them. They've taken Berlin, which is ridiculous. So we might be able to pull off an even more ridiculous encirclement, aka the entire German Eastern Front. If the Americans punch through a little bit further down south, that's going to be available to us. We might in fact be able to take Breslau itself. Fortunately, it does look like the Germans are reinforcing it. You know, one thing that I thought of that really makes Hearts of Iron 4 much easier than the earlier games is that there's no delay between attacks. I can just move around my troops constantly and attack constantly and never have to stop them. I feel like that actually kind of makes the game a lot easier to play because the AI cannot really react to all these attacks that are going on pretty much all over the place. Compared to the older games where you had to wait until your guys actually rested and were able to attack again. That's a big change that I never really thought about. So tell me what you think, actually. Because in the older games, sometimes you just have to stop and let your guys rest. Whereas over here, the only time you actually have to stop is when your organization goes down. Which, to be fair, it seems like it almost never goes down in this game. And even when it does go down, it takes a few hours to recover. So in general, it just seems like it was a little bit dumbed down in this regard, even though I dislike the use of the word dumbed down sometimes. In this case, I think it fits kind of perfectly. Looks like we have a bit of a breach into Germany. That's gonna be very nice if we can exploit it correctly. We can definitely exploit it correctly over here. And then even over here, while the Americans seem to have started to run into trouble because there's actual Germans over there. Wow, they've actually managed to take a huge amount of German territory because it was just unprotected. Well, that was definitely some MVP level play by the American AI. That was ridiculous. Actually, let's get the armored cars moving over here. Because it does look like they can make a bit of a run through the German backlines. Oh, never mind. Let's let them move through. Now that they're occupied by our men, hopefully our allies will actually come in and reinforce that attack so that it takes a little bit. Never mind. They won't do that. Ooh, the British, they're coming in with the tanks. And they might be able to actually punch through. Especially if we help them out. We're going to be able to take Dresden, which is fairly close to the American lines. They're just south of Berlin. Ooh, these guys actually got surrounded in Pilsen. So we're gonna let the Germans and Austro-Hungarians over here kind of starve to death. They do have forts in the Sudan province, and I believe now they don't have anything in Pilsen, but they do have factories, so they should be able to, at least for a while, stay supplied, which is a problem. And then, looks like down here we may have a bit of an opportunity to push, because a lot of their troops seem to have gone away. Whoa! Looks like my entire front line got a little bit cancelled, which is ridiculous. And the front line that got replaced is throughout the entire Allied line, which is safe to say a little insane. So we're just gonna reduce that a little bit. Yeah. We're gonna make a very simple offensive line. We're just gonna try to pretty much put as much pressure on the Germans as possible, so that they have to move troops around a lot. And right now my focus is to reach the American lines, not the Russians anymore. And now the gap is very, very close, but they're just flooding troops in, so we're not going to be able to, at least for now, get in there, which is a little bit unfortunate, but oh well. There's a couple of UK divisions a little bit trapped in East Prussia, or actually no, in Pomerania, which is a little ridiculous, but oh well. Stop the troop spam. What the hell? Look at all these guys. They're just swarming all around like ants. It's ridiculous. Well, that's going to be it for now. I'm going to join you at the next session where we'll hopefully defeat at least Germany, if not the entirety of the Central Powers. The Ottomans seem to be a little bit stable right now. But certainly once the Germans are defeated, and all these troops that are kind of, well, right now busy over here, once they'll have no job over in Central Europe, they'll probably get redeployed down here and smash the Ottomans fairly quickly. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and I'll see you soon.